this one is front and rear differentials. Some fun ones for you, right? I mean, you can't go wrong with a front and rear differential change. I mean, they're quite easy to begin with. So we're gonna start with the front because obviously it's the front and then the back can be dealt with afterwards. So how often should you be changing your front differential? This will vary on your driving habits as oil changes and power steering and everything else. It always varies on your driving habits. So if you're an off-roader or you live in a snowy climate, you know, wintry area that you need to use 4x4 a lot, you definitely got to look at doing your front differential sooner than later, by all means. I believe I just saw quickly on a Toyota US maintenance guides that it's actually recommended at 30, at least to inspect it, by all means. When I got mine done, because I wanted to do everything, because I had a big off-road event coming up on 2018 it was, I wanted all my fluids changed because I wanted to see also for knowledge base of how like bad are these fluids, right? So front differential at 42,000 miles or about 68,000 kilometers, it needed to be changed pretty bad. So that 30K mark is definitely recommended, but like I said, not for everyone. If you're someone that barely uses four-wheel drive and you're just using it just to keep your 10 miles every couple months, I doubt you're ever gonna have to look at a front differential fluid until like spark plugs kind of thing. Well, maybe not that long, but maybe about 40 to 50. So you can drag it out a little bit longer by all means. A little tricky to get in there, I guess, but you gotta remove your skid plates. I was done at Toyota's shop and it was on the hoist and all that, so it wasn't too bad, but that one took a little bit more time than the others. And all you did is a drain and refill, so it's quite simple by all means. But definitely look at how you're driving, how much four-wheel drive abuse you're doing. I mean, if you're a four-wheel driver every day, definitely maybe have to look at maybe instead of 30,000, maybe look at about 20,000, 25,000. So maybe every second oil change, you might want to do a front differential fluid change. So there's front differential. Rear differential. Well, for rear differential, you could probably actually go a little bit more on those. But then again, it comes down to your abuse or whatever you do with it. When I got mine done at the 40-some thousand, I had a little bit of water in it because when I first had the breather mod done, that's a do-it-yourself breather mod, because when I was at the first time for this off-road event, I went through a pretty deep puddle, and you guys are gonna see this video here. That puddle was gnarly. Like I sunk the whole truck. That was the most water I've ever been in, and I didn't realize this until like the second day of the off-road event that my breather hose kind of came off. So I'm wondering, well, more than likely water probably went into the union bolt there or whatever. So or maybe it was just how it is, I guess, whatever. But that one could have waited a little bit longer, but I mean, like I said, there was water in it, so at 40-some thousand, not a bad time to change it either. So you could probably do it at 30 as well, but I probably wouldn't recommend it by any means. I mean, just pop off the cap or whatever and check it and see how dark it is. I mean, mine was fairly clear, but like I said, water. So definitely good to get that out of there by any means, right? So you don't want that in your differential, especially come wintertime. Yeah, no water for my gears, please. So I would look at maybe 40 to 50 on the rear differential, but that could be different if maybe you're using a rear locker a lot. Mine's an off-road, obviously, so I have a rear locker, but I barely used it. I barely have to use my rear locker, believe it or not, on this truck. I just never use it. I don't care to. I end up using crawl control half the time, so it works there for that sticky situation that I'm in. But lately, this last past year, I've been using rear locker a lot more. Being that it's been about 30,000 since I've actually done all these changes, I probably need to maybe look again the front diff done, but if I remember correctly, I actually had it done before I went off-roading, so that one's actually pretty good there. So just trying to remember here, because now that I don't work at Toyota anymore, I don't keep track of my maintenance as well, or at least remember what I did when I did it, because usually I'm there, get it done, I know what I asked for, good to go. But I just asked for it once over before I went on that big off-road trip for that off-roading that you guys saw there, where I broke down. Yeah, that sucked. So, but yeah, so that's my recommendation on the front and rear differentials. Front sooner than the rear, but it just comes down to how you use it. I can't say that a rear locker will put more abuse on it by any means, but I mean, this truck's done burnouts. I mean, I've drifted. I mean, I rev the crap out of it. I'd spin those rear tires. I do off-road a lot. So it's definitely something to consider. So, but front differential, 100% at least 30,000 if you use it a lot, or if you're in Canada, Colorado, wherever with a lot of snow, you have to use four-wheel drive pretty much like every day. So definitely look at it around 30 or sooner by any means. So 42 was gross. As you can see, for this one, I'm showing you guys videos of my fluids when I'm changing them at this 42,000 of how they look. So hopefully that gives you a peace of mind as well. So have a good one, guys.